Drop this down real quick. All right, we'll be joined by Texas Tech head coach Chris Beard and student athletes Brandon Francis, Matt Mooney, Lorenzo Diassi, and Tariq Owens in just a moment. They're coming from our holding room, so they'll be here momentarily. Is anybody writing on deadline who needs a first question? Cool, I can just call in anybody now, willy-nilly. You got one? All right. Okay, well, we're going to do student athletes first, so. All right, welcome Texas Tech head coach Chris Beard, student athletes Brandon Francis, Matt Mooney, Lorenzo Diassi, and Tariq Owens. We'll open up with a statement from Coach Beard and then open to questions. Like the first set of questions, please to go to the student athletes, then we'll let them go back to the locker room. Coach, whenever you're ready.
I just want to congratulate Gonzaga on another championship season, and they were everything we thought they would be. Just in the first half especially, I felt like I was coaching a game that I've watched on TV for all these years. You know, the high-quality offense, the defense that were so hard to score against. And then I thought in the second half we kind of relaxed and played a little bit. But we have a lot of respect for their program. Coach had some very nice things to say about our team, and we don't take those things for granted. So we're trying to build a program at Tech like a Gonzaga. This is our third year. We're starting to show some consistency, but we have such a high opinion of them and want to congratulate them. You know, in terms of our team, Wes just asked me, who do you want to take the press conference? This is easy. This is really easy. How about our four seniors, the backbone of our team? Norrance and Brandon, big parts of last year's success, but didn't let that define them. And his returners have led us all year long. And then Tariq and Matt, his grad transfers, just buying into our culture so quickly. And it's like they've been here for their whole career. So I've always loved our seniors, but I've never been more proud than the four guys to my left right now. They're really the story of Tech basketball this year. and I'm just glad we get to coach them again. The Final Four is awesome and all that, but the most cool thing is I get to coach these guys again. We get to, get after it again in practice and travel and spend time together, and it's going to be a special week for us.
Okay, we'll open up to questions. We're going to start in the very front row.
Max Bonstetter, Sports Illustrated. For Brandon and Matt, a lot of people believed that this would be a low-scoring and slow game, but it was actually very fast-paced. How did you guys use tempo to your advantage?
Brandon, why don't you take that first?
I think that Gonzaga made those plays like that in the first half. They was shooting a lot of open threes, playing fast in transition, and that's not how we play. We was trying to stay to their pace, but I feel like in the second half we came and played our defense, slowed the pace down a little bit, and I'm just glad that we came out victory.
Mac, if you can slide that mic a little closer to you, that'll.
No, I think, they got us playing their type of basketball in the first half, and at halftime we just wanted to, slow it down a little bit. And, we don't want to play slow, but we want to control the tempo and take good shots and play March basketball. And in the second half, we were able to do that.
Thank you for saying that, Matt. This slow stuff's killing us in recruiting.
Yeah, we don't play slow.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to the third row
Just
and then
win,
the second
you know?
row.
Ben Balch, Los Angeles Times. Tariq, that was a pivotal sequence there, right here, where you had the block in the corner and then kind of saved the ball inbounds. Can you talk about how that play developed?
Coming down the court, 21 Ruiz, I knew he was their best player, and that was my assignment at the time. And just coming down the court, I knew that they were going to be looking for him. And when Perkins drove, I stepped in to help, but I still knew where Rui was at. And once it went out to him, I just knew I had to get out there, that he was shooting it. So, kind of not a smart play. I made the play, but as soon as I seen him catch it, I left my feet, which, sometimes doesn't work out. But, I just had to. I had to get there, and, it just worked out.
Go in the second row, please.
For Tariq and Matt, I know you guys take some pride in being grinders, having a little bit of an edge. What does this say about people like that who might not, be on the cover of Sports Illustrated every week?
Tariq, you want to take that first?
It says a lot. It just goes to show hard work pays off. This is my 5th year in college, so your hard work won't pay off. All the time it doesn't pay off like right then and there. But, I believe myself and Matt included, we just stayed the course and kept working at it and working on it. And we got to a program where everybody was grinders, especially our head coach, and, who believed in us and was willing to push us to the next level that he knew we had. So, that just speaks to this program.
Matt?
Yeah, it's cliche, but hard work pays off. And, for believers, you reap what you sow. What you put in, will come to light. And we just stuck at it. They didn't pick us to win the 12. They didn't pick us to be here right now, but we just kept believing in each other, and we're going to keep doing that.
Mark in the blue right there in the fourth row.
Mark Wicker, Orange County Register. This is for Matt. When can you tell that your defense has gotten a team out of its comfort zone, especially the way it looked in these 2 games here in Anaheim?
The last game we could tell a little bit earlier. Gonzaga, they were scoring. We were going blow for blow. So it was harder to tell tonight, but we started to separate a little bit at the end, and we were getting rebounds and getting stops when we needed to most. But they're a really, really good team, really high-powered offensive team. So I guess it was harder to tell tonight, but we made some shots too.
Go in the third row, please.
Matt, can you talk about that inbounds pass? Were you trying to kind of bait the defense into going to a certain way, or try to get them to swipe at Josh Perkins to swipe at the ball? What was kind of happening there?
The one where he hit my arm? That one, yeah. No, I was just trying to, I'll be honest, I was trying to get it to Moretti, because he's like the best free throw shooter, one of the best free throw shooters in the country. I trust all these guys, even though B doesn't think I trust him too. I was trying to get it to Moretti, and then Perkins just reached his hand in and, tried to grab the ball while I had the ball. I don't know why they're laughing. Tried to grab the ball while he had the ball out of bounds and, hit my arm, and the ref saw it. The ref made a good call, and, I'd never seen that happen before. But
This is why we call you the professor, man. I like it, though.
All right. Any further questions for the student athletes? Okay, right here in the middle.
Tukinu LA Daily News. This one's for Norenz. You guys, this is the first time Texas Tech will be in the Final Four. What's it mean for you to be on this historic team?
It's huge. It's huge for our program, for our city, for us personally, for our families, for our friends. It's huge. Everything we work for, starting off in the summers, the workouts, from the retreat to different games, the battles we've been through, the struggles. Man, it's huge. It means the world to work so hard and it pay off. It definitely hasn't hit me. It hasn't hit us, I don't think yet, but it's huge for all of us, and we're just so excited that we get to play with each other again. So,
Any more questions for the student athletes? Last call. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. You can head on back to the locker room. All right, questions for Coach Beard. We'll start with Ben, and then we'll go right in front. So Ben first, right there. And then we're going to go there, 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 there.
Coach, when you're standing up on that ladder, waving that net over your head, what does that feel like?
It's just indescribable, really is. Like, growing up my whole life watching these press conferences, games, and all that, and the guy that always gets there and he says, undescribable, I'm always like, give us something better than that, but I really don't have anything better. It's just undescribable. I think a lot about those four seniors. Great leadership on this year's team. And I just think about all the guys that came before us, seeing a Coach Gerald Myers, as happy as he is, a great player at Tech, Coach AD, and just really I think about everybody but myself in those moments.
Right here in the middle.
Hello, Coach Beard, Bobby Sheridan from the Grilling Truth Sports Network. I wanted to ask your effect that you think, or the effect that you think Bobby Knight had on this.
I mean, I wouldn't trade my time with Coach Knight and Pat for anything. It was like getting a PhD in coaching every day. Learned so much from those guys, a lot of things that they probably don't even realize that I learned from them. One of many things is just the idea of preparation. I've always thought that we were guys that worked hard and loved our players, but those years with Coach and Pat, just the idea of preparation, and that was a big key to today's game. I thought the guys executed a scouting report. Gonzaga's really good. They're going to make you look like you didn't have a scouting report, but I promise you did. We won just enough possessions with things that we wanted to try to get done, and a lot of that comes from Coach and Pat.
We're going to go right here in the second, and then we go to the back.
Hey, Coach, Eddie Pels from AP. Congratulations. And I asked those guys that, but and I know you've talked about it a lot, but would you trade in some grinders for, the three top McDonald's All-Americans? Seems like you might be more comfortable with this kind of player.
It's like when I go to Grandy's and they ask me, do I want double mashed potatoes or mashed potatoes and corn? I want both. So we would love to have some McDonald's All-Americans and then turn them into grinders. And I think we could play in more games like today. So, I'll say this about our guys. It's kind of the story that not a lot of five-star guys and this and that, but we got really good players. I mean, we've got the MVP of the Big 12 Conference. Matt and Morrow and Tariq were all on the all-conference teams. We got good college players. And I think all these guys will be great pros. And then, our journey's been special like everybody's journeys, but there's been a few pivotal parts. Our closed-door scrimmage this year that we can't talk about was against Houston. And Coach Sampson's been to Final Fours and won championships. And I'll never forget, he told me right after that game, we're in the two locker rooms, he kind of grabbed me and goes, Chris, you guys are really good. And, your new pieces, you guys are going to be good. You can compete for a Big 12 championship. And you hear that, and, then we went to play Duke in Madison Square Garden. And after the game, right after the game in the handshake line, and then later on in the hallway, Coach K had some great things about our city. He said, hey, what about a heavyweight battle? What a great college game. You guys are really good. Good luck this season. You guys are going to be really good. And then he wrote me a letter a couple weeks later. And then we played Memphis and Miami, and Rick Pitino was at the game. And he came in our locker room after the game and talked to our players, and he told our guys, hey, I've had teams less talented than y'all make it to Final Fours. It's all about the intangibles, the toughness, the unselfishness, the things that it appears that you guys stand for. And I can go down the line. So Bill Self in our league thought that we were good enough to make a real run in this tournament. So we don't mind the underdog, chip on the shoulder part of our story, but I think you disrespect our players a little bit when you don't understand we got really good college players. And I think we're one of the best teams in the country this year.
We're in the back row in the
Voice sound kind of weird, man.
Mark Ziegler, San Diego Union Tribune. You opened in zone back here.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You opened in zone in the second half and played 3-4 possessions. What was the thinking behind that? And sometimes just a little bit of zone throw a team out of rhythm after they shot. I think they shot 50% in the first half against you.
Yeah, both our bigs had 2 fouls apiece, I think. Coach normally goes right into the post, first play of the second half. It's a crazy stat. It's what he normally does. And just want to protect our players a little bit. And then also, like, when you play against these, like, Hall of Fame coaches, they score like 60 or 70% on ATOs, first play of the half, so why not throw a punch? Sometimes when you throw punches, you leave yourself open to get hit, but, I mean, they're probably going to score anyway. He's over there drawing up something great. So I've never minded, taking chances against really good coaches and players. Some games where we think that we can just maybe beat somebody possession after possession, we don't do that, but that was not our thought with Gonzaga. We knew we'd have to play almost a perfect game to beat them, and in a lot of ways we did.
We're going to go to Mark, and then we'll go to Max.
How many deflections did you have today? I know you chart those, and how do you coach that? Because you guys are awfully good at harassing and digging out those balls like most teams aren't.
Yeah, normally I would know right after the game, win or lose, but today was a little different. We celebrated going to the Final Four. Texas Tech's going to the Final Four. Some of you look surprised. Texas Tech's going to the Final Four. So I haven't seen the stat clipboard yet, but the way we teach it is just emphasize it. Our terminology is busy on the ball. Today was such a great interior post play from Gonzaga. Post defense isn't just the big guy guarding the post. It's also perimeter deflections, making it hard on the passer. And we did just from naked eye, I think we did an okay job of that today, not great.
Max, you're up next here in the front row.
Max Bonstetter, Sports Illustrated. First of all, Coach, congrats on punching your ticket to the Final Four. I kind of have a 2-part question for you.
Right on, man. Right on.
First of all, this was such a physical and intense game. Do you encourage your players to be more physical in the theory that the refs will not call as much in these March Madness games? And also, I think everyone wants to know, what will the next episode of Fireside Chat look like? Will you go live from Minneapolis?
All right, I got ADD, man, so I got to go one at a time. The first one was about the officials and physical play in the tournament. We try to help our players. We explain to them these are the best refs in the game. They're not going to give you anything. If you want to get fouled, you better go get it. We learned that firsthand against Villanova last year. We basically just tell our guys, you got to go make real plays. They're not going to bail you out in games like this. We study a lot of like NCAA tournament type championship games and show our guys. I do think the officiating is a little bit different in March. I think in a lot of ways, it's better. These are the best of the best, in my opinion, that advance through the tournament. And then what was the second part? Yeah, Fireside Chat. I'm not sure. Andy's not here. Andy Katz, he got us to do the double bonus one. So I think we'll probably have the seniors on the next Fireside Chat. Thanks for asking about that.
Okay, we're going to go to the very back corner there.
From Dime. Coach, one of the first things Jared had said after the game was he wants to get in and look at the film to see what he could do differently with his shot and a couple of the other things. What can you say about the sophomore, the consistency that he's had, but the growth that he's had from last season to this season?
Yeah, it's just him. I mean, it kind of sounds like maybe not the full truth, but it is. Like, the guy loves basketball, so he's got a laptop or an iPad, one of those. He sits 2 seats in front of me to my left every plane trip, and it's real, man. It doesn't matter if it's a late Big 12 game and we're on that plane at midnight coming back, or it doesn't matter if we just won a big game or lost a game. It doesn't matter. He's on that iPad. He's watching the game. He watches it kind of just himself first, and then he'll come in the next day and get the clips with assistant coaches. So it's real. He's a student of the game.
Go right here in the fourth row on the edge there.
Hey, Coach, George Willis, New York Post. You said you called Matt the professor. Why is that, and why is he the guy you trust to inbound the ball in those key situations?
So, like the best quality of somebody is always like maybe their weakness too. I've never met Michael Jordan. I shook his hand one time in Vegas. But they say the most competitive person ever. That's what's great about him. And then sometimes on the other side, the most competitive, maybe a weakness sometimes. This is Matt. He overthinks things. He's a perfectionist. He's like the great thing about him is detail oriented, and he's got a little bit of stubbornness to him. He thinks he's the best player in the country, but all the great guys do. The great ones do. But on the flip side, it can get a little annoying from time to time. And so Morrow gave him the nickname Professor. All right, Professor, you're right on everything. You're right on everything, you know. So, but those guys got a special relationship, Morrow and Matt. That'd be a great question for Morrow in Minneapolis, why he named Matt Mooney the Professor.
There's your scoop right there. Any further questions for Coach Beard?
Yeah, I just trust him. I trust him. He's got big-time nerves. You can't rattle him. He's a confident guy. Just trust him.
Any more for Coach Beard? Coach, anything you want to say to close things out?
Texas Tech's going to the Final Four.
All right. Thank you, Coach. The media workroom will be open for 4 hours following the conclusion of the press conference, which is right now. That will be at 10:15. It will close at 10:15.